Sanbonani guys, welcome back to yet another video, and we are speaking about Married at First Sight, the latest episode, you guys. So one of the scenes we get to see is that the couples get to have a group session, therapy session, something like that. I don't get and I don't get the aim of group sessions. Maybe it's so that, or maybe it was because this specific a lot of tension coming from one couple, which was Ukuto and Udi, came out of the games night. Maybe that's, but then again, I'm thinking they were called aside to have a private session on their own. I don't see the purpose of why they have group sessions, because I remember one of the experts actually saying to one of the couples that be careful of exposing, they were speaking to Kuto and D, that be careful of exposing your relationship to people from the outside. And then you still want you asking these people questions to still open up and talk about their issues. Like, is that not exposing your relationship? Because I feel like in as much as they are going through the same experiment, there are some people, man, in that group setup that I feel like they kind of feel like they are better off or they've got better problems than the other. And when I'm talking about some people, I'm specifically speaking about Tabang and Ukuma. I don't know if you guys pick this up or if it's just me or if it's just in my head, that I just feel as if Utabang and Ukumu low-key feel that their relationship is on Uboitepo and Usebenzile's type of level. I honestly feel like when it comes to Tabang and Kumo, because they've got that mentality that they don't want to expose their relationship to other people, which is good. But I've noticed that at times it feels like, at least to me, that when most of the times when they're talking, they'll just give very generic answers or surface level type of answers, like they try and conceal and cover things up too much. So when I'm referring to couples who think they're better than others, I'm referring to them specifically. But anyway, they had a group session, and then the therapist basically was asking them questions, basically asking them, how are you guys? And they went as per couple. So the first people who went up was Uti and Ukutina. You could see Uti was so emotional because even though they asked her the question, you guys, she was kind of crying and finding it difficult to actually speak. But I am glad I am actually glad that she actually spoke her heart out concerning everything that happened. And I appreciated that because I felt like in that moment, it was all about her getting help for her and her marriage, her and her relationship. Besides, how other people are going to how other people are going to perceive it. Because I feel like at times that's why I'm saying I don't like these group sessions, because it's easy for you to kind of conceal certain things because you don't want to be perceived in a different light. That's why I'm going to give it to Deem and say that, kudos to her, because I feel like if it was me, for instance, I probably would not have said the stuff she would have said, because I would not want to have came off as being insecure, considering that the woman in question here is Upuitepo and she's sitting right there. And remember, Upuitepo and Dee Vele, like, they don't feel one another like that. So I appreciate the fact that she was honest, and yeah, that she just wanted to lay everything down on the table so that they could get help. But Kutso, you could see his demeanor, he was not smiling, his energy. One thing about Kutso, guys, that I've noticed, even when they went on that second trip, on the North trip they went on, when Kutso's not fine, you can tell to his body language, to everything. He doesn't smile, to the way he speaks. You can tell when Kutso's not fine. So you could tell while he's sitting there, you could see the tension between them, that Ukut was not fine and all of that. And yeah, but they did say that they were going to give them like a private session, which they did do. And yeah. Then the next couple they went to is Utami and Uzitobile. Tami, basically, spoke about how they've come a long way in their relationship. But basically, in a nutshell, Tami and Uzitobile, He said that they look, or he said that they are in a good place. But there was something about Uzitobile's body language, you guys. Maybe it's just the way she is. Maybe it's just the way she is. Because I remember even when the two families were meeting, I said on the video that I did that I felt as if the both of them, the both families were happy. Everyone else was happy except Uzitobil. And I felt like, or I thought that she started acting like that after one of Tammy's relatives mentioned the polygamy situation. But even in today's session, like, I don't know, maybe there's going to be a picture here that you guys will be able to see on the screen to show like her body language. She just didn't, like, they were okay, but they just didn't, like, they looked like there was just something that's bothering them, or maybe they were tired or something. But for people who are in a good place, I expect you guys to be jolly. I expect you guys to be smiling from ear to ear. But I mean, the environment on its own, it was not a conducive environment to smile because of the situation they had at Games Night. Then next they went over to Kumo and her husband Tabang, and I spoke a little on them. That I just feel like a lot of the things that especially that come out of Kumo's mouth, I just feel like they're giving off vibes for people to say that, oh, they are actually in a good place. I'm like, as for me, myself, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm struggling. I like them physically. They look good together. They are the first couple that I fell in love with when the show started, but I'm just struggling to connect with them on a deeper level. And maybe that's because themselves, they struggle to connect on a deeper level. A lot of the things between them are just surface level things. But anyway, that's that. You guys know my feelings towards Ukumo, so yeah. And then next they went to Uboitepo and Usebenzile. And there's something that Uboitepo actually mentioned. Boitepo was basically saying she does not want to be a problem in D and Kuto's marriage. She does not want to be a problem. And I'm like, I don't know. I know a lot of people were saying it was just a game, but I just felt like, Boitepo, why did you answer like that? Like you should have just, I don't know, paused the question or just, I don't know, lied like a white lie or something like that. I feel like when you are a woman, there's certain things that you must sympathize with when it comes to other women. And this is one of the things. Like, we know that a lot of women are insecure about a lot of things about them. So I don't feel like the way she answered. Yes, I know it was just a game, you guys, and maybe she did not think that deep. But I just wish she was a lot more sensitive when it came to answering that question, because people's feelings are involved. Yes, she's in a secure place in her relationship, but she does not know how it's going to be received in the other person's relationship. It just happened to be that by the time they answered these questions, it really did rock D and Kuto's relationship. But Upoitepo basically agrees with Ukuto, because Kuto basically was speaking about, Kutos basically repeated everything that he said. But Upoitepo was basically saying that she feels like her husband, which was Usebenzile, tried to reassure Uti. And Ukuto tried to reassure Uti, but D was just not hearing anything. That's what Upuitepo said. And I was just like, Buitepo, you are brave to say that, because how can you, like, at that point, I was just like, ma'am, like, what are you saying? Because she was just like, are you not hearing what your husband and my husband is saying? Because they are reassuring you. And I'm just like, if I was in that seat of D, I was just gonna roll my eyes or give her the nasty look, because I was gonna be like, you the one who answered the way you answered, and then you come in to tell me, oh, you're not hearing. Guys, when it comes to your personal person, there's certain things that your mind or your ears just switch off after that. After that, you just don't hear anything. So that's why I'm saying that I feel like, or I've said that I feel like we need to give a level of grace, you guys, because most of us, even in relationships that don't have this type of, or that is not in this type of setup, we would find something wrong in the way Upuitepo and the way Uwe Tepo and Ukuzo answered. I even said myself, I would have definitely taken offense to those answers. Like, I definitely would have. Usebenzile and Sebenzile and Poitepo are in a good place, but Tepo was just reassuring Uti that, listen, this is not going to happen. But she said something about, you know, a fantasy. So I'm saying, hey, what does she mean? She said something like, D is being hung up on a fantasy that's never going to happen. I'm like, what do you mean a fantasy? Didn't you guys say it's a game? So meaning that there's a truth to a game, because I'm struggling to understand, or maybe guys try and help me understand or dissect that. Because if a person says something's a fantasy, in my head, I'm thinking in their head, when Ukutso plays it out in his head, it's something that he wishes for. It's a fantasy, something that you wish for, but you know it's something that cannot happen. Even in Buitepo's head, in her head, she would smash Kutso, she would marry Kutso, but she knows very much it's something that can never happen. So I'm just like, if it's a fantasy, then does it mean that it exists and it plays in a person's mind? Because I mean, that's why I was saying that maybe they were a bit too honest, because there's just certain things that you should keep to yourself and keep them between you and God. I don't know, you guys. Tell me what you guys thought about that. But anyway, that is the recap of the group session that they had. I didn't even see the purpose of what was the purpose. Maybe the show itself was, I don't know, it was trying to get some sort of content with all the couples together, but I didn't see it conducive in any way. If anything, people are not going to open up like that in that type of setup unless people are really here or there to really get help, which is like Uti, the way she opened up like that, which I commend her for doing. Anyway, tell me, what did you think of that group session? Tell me if you also noticed the body language between Utami and Uzvitobilu, or you didn't pick that up. Anyway, please do make sure you like the video. Please do subscribe. It is absolutely for free of charge, and I'll see you guys on the next one.